YouTube, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Everybody, welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network 1-in-1 show. I'm Dante McCray.
And I'm Shawnee.
And so basically, we're going to get right into it tonight. A lot going on with NFL free agency. And so basically, the hot topic, it started yesterday and it spilled over into today. Randy Gregory, basically, if you were on Twitter, if you were on, all the Ian Rappaports, the Tom Pelisseros, and all the NFL insiders, basically the deal was done locally here in DFW. It was reported, hey, man, Randy Gregory going back to the Cowboys. Everything's good. Cowboy fans kind of woosah because over the weekend, Amari Cooper trade, basically Lyle Collins soon to be released or traded, and then the news comes out, Denver was involved, and then boom, last minute switch, he goes to Denver. No reports are out, and so it ends up being language in the contract. So to catch you up to speed real quick, if you didn't know, Randy Gregory basically was drafted in 2015 because of suspensions and, and a lot of things dealing with his mental health and anxiety. He used marijuana to medicate. For one thing, in 2015, we did not look like at mental health the same way that we do in 2022. And marijuana was a big no-no in the NFL at the time. And so fast forward to now, this is his first chance at free agency to get the bag. And I'm going to be honest, I know it has to deal with language in the contract, but it sounds like to me, the Cowboys, no matter how you put it, it's a results business. As they would tell a player, they F this up royally. So, Johnny, I'm going to get your thoughts on it, man.
Yeah, as we were saying before the show, that I didn't know that Jerry wasn't there during the closing. Normally in the today's Cowboys, it's like a three-headed monster. Jerry, then his son Steven, and then Will McClay. Will McClay basically draft. That's his domain. When it comes to the contract negotiations and whatnot, that's Stephen Jones. Jerry is basically the closer. So normally when there's any type of dispute or whatnot, it's like I don't know if it's a rumor or it's just like just a saying or whatnot. Once Jerry gets them in a room and it's just the player and Jerry, most of the time, by the time they come out that room, both sides are going to be happy. And it usually ends with the player getting paid. So with Jerry not being there to basically close the deal with Randy, and it's basically it was Steven who kind of screwed this up. Yeah, I'm under the belief that because I already knew the Cowboys, what they have shown recently, they do not pay the big names that are out there in free agency. They like homegrown talent. They will pay their own players, but a lot of time it kind of come back and bite them. So, but Randy was one of their homegrown players, so they wanted to keep him. And of course, they've been extremely loyal to Randy. I mean, I believe that the fact that if the Cowboys are the main reason why Randy Gregory is still in the league, because he was suspended 4 times. So I was thinking, like, hey, first time they would have, show you some grace. Second time they probably would have put you on like, okay, third strike you out. When he got suspended for that third time, and it ended up being a year, they would have let him go if it was like another organization. Then he probably would have got picked up by another team, and only get suspended again. They were like, okay, yeah, we gave you a chance, and that would have been it. But the Cowboys literally kept him employed this whole time. So when he ultimately just decided to go to Denver, he didn't really get that much more money. But like you were saying, Dante, it was just the language in the contracts. And I do not believe that if Jerry was there, that would have happened. It would have been a closed deal by the time both of them would have got that room. So yeah, the Cowboys kind of screwed that up, but hey.
It's just basically it's one of them, and we said this before the show. If you are like a hardcore, like I say, it's a second sport, hating the Cowboys, if you one of them people that want to rain on their grave and they parade, this is the off season for you. Because not only did the salary cap situation, like I want to say, I was reading a story by KD Drummond, who's really good with the cap stuff, and what he was saying was basically this was the offseason for the Cowboys to reset their books. And so I know everyone was saying like the Saints started the season off season, I think 75 million in the hole in the cap. And what they did is they did a lot of cap maneuvering to get under it and cleared like 80 million in space. So, but when you do that, the cap space eventually it will come to you. It will come back to you and it'll hurt you. But as far as the Cowboys were concerned, they didn't want to do those things. I do think from the insiders, it was personal with Rand. It was personal. Well, it got personal with Randy Gregory, but it was personal with Lyle Collins, and it was personal with Amari Cooper. Cooper, the vaccine situation, and the way he just kind of rubbed them the wrong way. I don't like the fact that with Cooper, he's not the traditional rah rah football guy. He plays chess in the locker room. I'll listen to his interviews weekly, and it's like it's refreshing to listen to him because he's like he don't get too high, don't get too low, and it's just like he's a really outstanding football player. But as far as Collins, that's the one that I will say I can give him some leeway with seeing like, hey, he's a good tackle. He's really good when he's available. He's a guy
Yeah.
that if you in 2020 he missed the entire season because you showed up so out of shape, you hurt your hip and you had to have a hip surgery. And so it's just like, bro, I can't. And then for the situation, well, further clarity came when he fought the drug suspension. First of all, you had no business missing a test. Like that's inexcusable. Go ahead, take your L. If you're gonna piss dirty, just go ahead and take that L. Don't miss it because it's gonna count the same. So you go through with that, and then you get this 2-game suspension. You fight it, they push it to 6. Well, his agent is the same agent that shares an agent with Randy Gregory. And so I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, it was confirmed his agent had a lot to deal with that because the way the contract is set up, a previous contract set up with the same language Randy Gregory wanted to reject. So it's kind of coming back where it's like stuff on both sides as far as the contract thing, but
Mhm.
he wanted to fight it. It didn't work out. And then they were still punishing, which I didn't understand when he came back. They were still starting steal, which he did cool. And he got 110% better than as bad as he was in 2020. But starting him to be the right tackle, and you come in the offseason and you say, hey, I want to improve the offensive line. So
Mhm.
getting rid of a better player, that doesn't improve it. Your starter left, you wanted him to leave, and you don't spend money. So you're basically at 24, which every draft has about 15 to 18 true first round grades. So you're at 24 and you telling everybody, hey, this is what we want. You saw what happened last year when you was just like, hey, they want a free safety. Oakland came up and drafted above you.
Mhm.
So it's a situation where they put themselves in a hole. They're shown there inept, and the worst thing about the situation is if this were any other team, the GM might get fired next in the offseason. He might get fired, as soon as the season's over in January. There's no firing Jerry Jones. There's no firing Stephen Jones. So it's something that
Okay.
Steven's gonna have to look
Cameo.
within and figure it out. And whew, it's bad. I, I
Yeah,
know I'm pessimistic, but it's bad.
because I know I've talked to some Cowboys fan. They real optimistic. I'm just like I
How?
don't consider myself neither one of them. I'm just like in the. I go by a lot of time when I come with my opinions or whatnot. I'm going by the history of what I've seen over the past. And with the Cowboys, they don't sign like big name free agents. So my whole thing is if you lose a high impact player as far as the impact on your team, I'm not ranking him amongst his peers amongst the league, just on your team. If you lose an impactful player, hopefully, that's cool. If they lose Dak Prescott, if you can bring somebody of Dak's caliber or better, okay. So with Randy, if you're gonna lose Randy, which I'm not, I think this was just completely just left field for them. They wasn't expecting to lose him.
At all.
I don't even know what type of backup plan. Now they're gonna have to address a position that they probably really didn't have plans for. But now that you lost Randy, are you gonna bring to backfill his position? And many times the player that they bring they don't produce as much. I know people saying, well, Parsons could make up. Well, no. Now teams can focus more on Parsons. But before you had, they were putting them on either side.
Yeah,
Parsons and Gregory both was doing work. Now you got Tank Williams, you know, well, Tank Lawrence, he's coming back, but I think he really agreed to a pay cut. Well, he really agreed to a pay cut so he can, y'all can work on getting Gregory back. So
yeah.
now that whole plan is out
Well,
the window.
it was two things with him though. It was that and the fact that he had a high cap number. He was going to make a high salary, but none of his money was guaranteed, and so
Yeah.
he knew. And like I know people will look at it as, and he was able to put it in that. And it's so much. It's spin season as much as his free agent season is spin season. He took a pay cut, but they spent it as, hey, I got his contract. What is it, 30 million guaranteed? So he's
Mm-hmm.
basically, they say it's a 4-year deal. I think one of those years is voidable because that's the new thing in the NFL. He's basically 10 million a year, and he took that as a pay cut. Hey, not just so he wouldn't get cut, but to bring a really good player back. And the Cowboys, fumbled that. They are in scramble mode right now, and what it's showing is it looks like they didn't have a plan B. And you're supposed to, and it's crazy. As good as you draft, you have a plan B. If this player, like they do mock drafts, if this player isn't there, we're gonna take this player. That's what
Mm-hmm.
happened the time with Zach Martin. If this player isn't there, we're gonna take this player, and that's what happened with Lamb, and it was successful for you. But in free agency, you're so adverse to spending money, you don't have an outside plan, and I think that's just a black mark on the front office. That's right on Steven. That's right on Jerry. I mean, Will McClay a part of it. He's a part of it because he's a part of that three-headed monster. The cap guy, so part of him too. But Will McClay can get his back in the draft. But what it does do is it's like, hey, we found a Parsons. He's a pass rusher and a linebacker. You're not gonna find that every year. And that was in the top 10 or top 15 picks because you traded down. Now you got to try to find that at 24. Now, I've heard this a lot from different personnel people. Well, either from former coaches, like I can't remember his name, but he was like, basically when it's draft time, we only competing against 9 other teams. These other guys don't know what they're doing. And so you do have that. Like Jacksonville spent all that money, and it's because you can't draft. You have no picks that you're keeping on your second contract. Whereas the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys keep the wrong guys or they do the deals at the wrong time. Because there are times where it's
They
like,
get
if you
back.
would have did that deal earlier, it would have worked out a little bit better. So, I know I'm gonna wrap it up on the Cowboys because I hate to start the show doom and gloom, but it's just stating the facts. But I guess we can
Let's ship it on down, go down I-45 South and
yeah.
deal with the mess they got down there.
So where do you want to start with that one? Do you want to start with the good part or the tough part to talk about that nobody's really touching on?
Yeah, they have the whole Texas franchise right now is a tough part. From the front office, they just they scrapping the players. They look like they again, as far as the notifications I'm getting, I'm seeing maybe 1, maybe 2 year deals. And but yeah, the main story out there, of course, everybody knows, everybody's talking about right now with Watson. Um, aside his whole legal thing that he got going on right now, that's a whole
Yeah, that's a
show
whole show by itself.
by itself. I think I think it has a chance to be one of the biggest trades of all time because the Texans are going to ask for a whole lot for him. I mean, similar to like when back in the Herschel Walker trade, but that was Jimmy Johnson really, once he got his picks, he manipulated them like that,
Yeah,
after the fact. Now this with the Watson, just straight up face value, what they're gonna get back from him. They probably gonna get another marquee player. Say if he goes to the Panthers, they could potentially get McCaffrey, but that's the Panthers. They may try to work a way to keep him, but they can get a player like McCaffrey plus first rounders. So they going big, and Watson, I believe he is worth that. Um, I see you're talking about
I
Watson
see
going.
you guys are going to the same. Hey, that's the rumor.
I mean, he go, but I mean, the Saints already. I mean, what fans of these other teams got to recognize? Yeah, you'll get Watson, but who you going to give up to get Watson? You ain't gonna have the same team. Now you can get Watson, and then hopefully your franchise is going to be able to build with Watson. But you're gonna have to. You're gonna give up a nice price for. So maybe your favorite player that you got on that current team right now, they may not be on that team when they get Watson, or your future will be. You won't have no first or second round picks for a while. So the whole Watson thing, I just believe that. Cause right now, I know he kind of canceled, well, just stopped communication with several teams, and right now it's the Saints, the Panthers,
I
I
heard
know
the
the
Falcons.
Falcons,
That's
basically
that.
NFC South teams.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But and it's interesting. It's interesting seeing how it was working out. Is it goes like this for him? He's in a down spot and he needs goodwill. So what two places can give him I think with the Saints decision is just that hey, that is a good football team that has a really good number one receiver, a good running back, and they Tyron Armstead is going to come back once the news comes down
But
that he's
real
coming.
quick though, remember the Saints don't have Peyton, so that's you know that's a whole nother thing they got to worry
That
about.
you know what that is something.
So if Watson was with Peyton, that may make Peyton want to come back from this break he's taking. But
It
that would be scary.
that would be scary. But as far as like Watson goes, him going to Carolina, he would be coming home to where he part of where he made a legend is and playing for Clemson. So him coming to Clemson, he would be comfortable. Him being in Atlanta, he's a Georgia boy, so that would be something that would be comfortable for him. So I felt like that's a place of comfort. But it's straight football for the Saints. They got a really good squad. And so we got welcome him in. We got Tommy B coming in. We
What's
are
going
Geek
on,
Sports
fellas?
Podcast. What's
What's up,
going
man?
on?
Chilling, enjoying the show.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
I kind of disagree with you on the what they ought to give up. The only reason why I say that is because the Texans aren't in the move like they just trying to trade them. They have to trade them. Like they don't have a choice. And so with the other team knowing that, and then knowing that Watson is actually choosing the team that he want to go to, they actually about to get fleeced. So I don't think they actually ought to give up. Best I think they gonna get out of it is one first rounder. But I don't think they're gonna get like a super marquee player, maybe just to match up contracts. But the Texans don't hold any cards because they have to trade them. It's not like they damn sure ain't gonna sit them around a whole another year. You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, if it was a regular situation like last year where they had the decision to trade them or not, then yeah, you kind of had to give out stuff. But in this situation, if I'm another team, he picked us. You can't trade him nowhere else because he got a no trade clause, and you have to trade him. What am I giving up? Nah, I'm gonna give you the lowest amount as possible and get Deshaun Watson. So I think in actuality, I think they actually about to come up whatever team that gets him just because of the position they in.
You know what? And to speak on that, what you're saying, it's the fact that it's crazy. The team with the best offer, if you don't want to go to him, it's not going to work because,
Yeah.
to be honest, the team I was scared the most of him going to was Philadelphia. I was scared the
Oh
most of
yeah.
because they got the three first rounders this year. So
Yeah.
if they just wipe that out, like, look, you got these three first, cool. I'll give you a second from next year or something.
Yeah.
It's like, and then a few players they had it, which I was scared of it, but at the same time, um, if he didn't want to, it seems like he doesn't want to go to Philly. I keep hearing they waiting in the wings. Emmanuel, I saw you said Seattle. I heard that he
Nah, he
turned down
turned down
Seattle,
Seattle.
so it's kind of and because that the rumor was that's where he was going as soon as Russell got traded, and so I was interested to be like, hey, that would make them look smart if they did get Watson, but that didn't work out, and Seattle's another team that's just a mess right now. But if they do give up a few first round picks, whichever team gets it, the Rams, I mean, that's not the perfect blueprint, but they've shown you the blueprint. If you can draft some guys in the middle rounds and spend money, which the Saints are about spending money, you can win
Yeah.
You can definitely come in and win. And if they can, receivers will be all through the draft. So if they need another receiver to go with Michael Thomas, I think the Saints will be good. Saints will be scary if they get Watson. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think the Panthers, they, I think by far maybe more than any other team, invested the most money in trying to. I heard that they already spent money on basically everything, especially last year. Because last year I believe they gave an offer to the Texans, which was
Yeah,
ultimately
Yeah.
declined.
Yeah.
But they invested money to basically find out everything that you can about watching this whole legal thing. So
Yeah.
they invested money in that, and they were the ones at the time was bringing up the more, I guess, aggressive trade assets and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, it still remains to be seen, right now,
Mhm.
because now with Watson already denying some places he'll rather go,
Mhm.
like what Tommy just brought up, he's basically kind of shrinking the field so much
Yeah.
that teams are like, man, where else you gonna go?
it's like
Because
one of them NBA trades.
But and
yeah,
that's why I'm saying they hold the other team hold all the cards because like you said he didn't already whittled from what I understand it's only between two teams, New Orleans and Carolina. So now if I'm New Orleans, Carolina,
Atlanta now.
Atlanta too. Oh yeah, I heard it was
Basically,
so
NFC South teams.
okay. So if I'm one of them three teams, I'm looking and let's just say he makes the decision, say, okay, I'll accept the trade here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I'm gonna give you, 2, 3 first rounds for when okay, if I tell you no, then what you gonna do? Because you can't go nowhere until he say it's good. So I'm gonna give you a bump. Watch what I say. I promise they gonna get fleeced out of that, and they have no choice because they have to.
And the thing about it is, Cicero, he's a, what is this? He's gonna be a second year GM.
Second year.
Yeah,
So,
This
so
is
they gonna
this is
ain't
this
no
is his
Napoleon in that front office. They gonna come and knocking, just bombard them with all type of
this is his
stuff. Man.
job right here.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what they want, man. So,
This is his
like
job.
I said before, I don't really trust that Texans front office. Um,
yeah, for real. They done fumbled a
You
couple of things.
you can't
so
trust it. But
I
let
don't, I
me
don't know.
I didn't want to really get to it, but I kind of dance around it because it's a sensitive topic. So we talking about what's going on with Watson, and they were waiting for the criminal cases to be filed. The civil don't have nothing to do with it. Everybody washing their hands with it. Two things. Do we trust the NFL to just to be like the easy way out is to do this? Hey, you suspended a year. That was last year. Retroactive. You clear. You good to go. Or will they do the hey, we've investigated. We feel like it's evidence of stuff. We're not gonna put it out in the media, but we feel like something did happen. We're gonna go and sit you down for another 6 games. So if you do that, then we're talking about what you were saying, Tommy. Hey man, you really get fleeced if he
Hmm.
missing 6 games. Well, both sides get fleeced.
Well, yeah, that on
You
that.
missing 6 games,
Well,
and I traded a little bit of draft compensation to get him.
you I don't think you go. Only reason why I say I don't think you're getting fleeced because I think everybody's expecting them to miss games. So it'd be different if you was getting them and not expecting something to come. But everybody, I think, I hope he don't get no games because if criminally he wasn't charged, then you really ain't got nothing else to go on, and he done already missed a year. So, but yeah, you going in there knowing good and well that he possibly got some gonna miss some games. So even with that, you technically don't get fleeced because you've already accounted for that. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
Only thing I with all that, it just feels like that if the NFL, they'll be suspending him, whatever, for
Mm.
basically embarrassing him because nothing yet has been
Yeah.
proven. Like
And
the
exactly.
criminal thing, that's the big one. So
Yeah.
he cleared that.
Yeah.
The civil, I can't really. It just sucks that the civil is just basically a he say she
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody knows what really happened.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, whatever decision you go, the NFL decides to make, if they like if they just take the position like everybody else, we on the outside. Or I shouldn't say everybody else because some people already feel he's guilty, even though there's nothing shown. But
Yeah.
then we on the outside. All thing we can really go by is the criminal. We didn't see nothing there.
Yeah.
Just let them play.
Yeah.
But then that's going to upset a lot of. Hey, what's up, Marcus? That's going to
What's
upset a
going on,
lot
Marcus?
of the women, the women fans of NFL.
Yeah,
So we already seen this from the NFL.
I mean, they could be upset, but at the end of the day, it wasn't no criminal charges.
yeah.
I don't know. I
I,
don't know
I
what
feel
their
like this.
argument would be.
I feel like
Yeah,
on this one, it's gonna be a test. Did the NFL learn a lesson? Hey, bro, y'all said a few years ago y'all were gonna stay out of these matters, and then once y'all see that it was dismissed, y'all were gonna act like, hey, y'all investigated to know what's going on, but you just turn a blind eye if it gets dismissed. If you get convicted or something, give you a slap on the wrist, or in this case, it would be a heavy punishment because of the what was alleged. It's just for me, it's like reading some of it. I stopped reading the depositions and some of the stuff because I was like, hey, bro, first of all, I'll say this: even if you didn't do some of these things, some of the way you conducted yourself was stupid. And I
Yeah.
remember I saw somebody say, "Hey, you should have traded for Watson." I was like, "Hey, bro, I don't trust bro decision making because
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bro, one of the most sensitive things in your body is a back, and as an athlete, if you get a back and a hip, they really can't do nothing for you. Everything
Yeah.
else, they can figure it out. So you
Yeah.
got 22 different masseuses with the money
Yeah.
that you have and the resources. You found 22 different people.
they supposed to find a private.
Hey, bro, you wasn't looking for a masseuse for the
Yeah.
way that their skills were. You were looking for skills in another department,
Yeah.
and so it's like, come on, bro. I
But the
don't.
way I look at it, though, when it comes to that, it's really no different than a pro player that's a ladies' man. They basically do it. He just got something with the masseuses, but a lot of the, some dudes, you see, it's like a footnote after the fact.
Yeah.
Like Brooke Chamberlain, the numbers of women he.
What's that?
So it's a footnote, but it's just his story got out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His story
and
got out.
we know how it
Well,
got out.
I was about to say, I think we all know how that happened.
Yeah,
I still don't know how all 22 got the same lawyer, but hey.
We all know how that happened too.
yeah. Everybody got, and that dude is a Looney Tune.
And he
Like,
just so happened to live down the street from
yeah,
a certain person.
that's what makes it so complex and
That's a
so
weird
wild with
case,
this one,
man.
It
man.
don't
Like
make it complex. We know exactly what it is. This is a hit
the
job.
boys was, hey,
This is a straight hit job.
It came out of nowhere, man. That's the first thing,
It's the
watch-
same thing like the same thing that happened to John Gruden. You got that whole entire investigation,
he had to
and that's
fall on
the
that
only thing that
sword.
you can release.
That's messed up.
Yeah, now Gruden gotta be held accountable for what he did because
No. I
yeah,
get that, but what I'm saying
the
is,
way they
if he,
stopped after Gruden. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, what I'm saying is, if he don't talk about the commissioner, that shit don't come out.
yeah, no,
No,
He
he had
because
an
that
axe to
was made
grind.
talked
He
about
did.
the wrong one.
it was made obvious the way they came out.
And to be honest with you, they gonna have to pay for that shit too, because
I think it is
Gruden already filed a lawsuit.
because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not with things like that. I'm not putting it past him to be like, look, he had been a coach a couple of years. A coach's contract is guaranteed. It's not like a player's. He gave him $100 million deal. The Raiders, they a team that when it comes to money, the owner he's not he ain't one of these other owners where he got billions. The way they got the Raiders was really a finesse deal. So why
Whoa,
don't I get out of
tread
this
lightly.
deal? Why don't I get out of this deal? Release them tapes, and then I act mad, but it's just like, oh man, we let you off
Oh
the
no,
pause.
no,
They
bro,
they
trust me.
trying to. It's a whole
That
bunch of shady stuff with that.
Mark Davis got a love affair with Gruden. I'm
He
telling
do.
you, 100%, bro. That was the commissioner.
He got his haircut like him, man.
That was
That's
commissioner.
weird.
Say, hold on 1 second, real quick, fellas. I also want to welcome Yella to the podcast. Give him an official welcome. Appreciate you for
My
joining.
fella, what's happening, yellow?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, what's good? What's good, gentlemen? Man, hearing y'all get this good sports knowledge, especially about that last topic. So you know what I'm saying. I just did an episode on that, man. So yeah, that whole story was weird as hell, bro.
You talking about the Watson?
Like how, like okay, yeah, man. Like how, okay, how out of the 22 that's in the civil case, only 9 of them
Exactly.
went out the criminal charge.
Exactly.
Like I said,
And two of the
follow that,
nine
man.
going after the criminal charges. Right. And 2 of the 9 going after the criminal charges aren't associated with the civil case.
I think the dude, like what you said, was getting the masseuse, knocking them down, and moving on. And then somebody caught wind of it, and then when he asked for the trade, the owner tapped in. They probably already salty because he smashed and moved on. And the owner tap in and go, yo, you get a bag if you say da 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 da. And now you got 22 of them things out there. Because I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you gotta put yourself in a better. I mean, this I don't know. Maybe it's the exclusiveness because I'm like, just go to a parlor. Like if that's your thing, you should
like the
know where
Patriots
these
owner?
places are. Like what's in like a craft. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or regular gentlemen around the city that do that. But you know what I'm saying? Like this whole, because this my thing is, if you dealing with somebody that's not like that and you turn them out, I guess you would say, then that's different than somebody that's already with the cause and just, you know what I'm saying? Like they might have some resentment towards you because, oh, I really didn't want to do that. Like but I'm thinking as a 30-something-year-old dude, that man 20-something years old. So
see, that's messed up, man. Because when I had my sports dreams and my dreams of becoming NFL and all that, bro, I had dreams of tricking off with the masseuses, man. Come on, man. Y'all taking this privilege away from these men.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't thinking about the masseuses. I was thinking about everything else.
I'm just playing.
The masseuses.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of messed up that, you know what I'm saying? That, I mean, if that's how he want to get out, and if the thing was consensual, then I don't be want to know what the problem is, man. Motherfuckers be wanting to have takebacks around here.
And then us regular dudes be like, "You Deshaun Watson, bro. You could get this anywhere. Like, what are we missing?"
But did y'all go over where he going?
Huh?
Did y'all go over where he going yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So far, what we just looked at is just basically the NFC South teams.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Everybody but the Bucks.
Off everything.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
All right, Emmanuel, I see what you said about you said Dame Dash is making a league, and so you said, do you think it'd be better than the NFL? My thing with that is the NFL they've made it so hard to compete because insurance wise, it's a nightmare to cover, and it's so hard to compete because if you compete in the fall, you're competing against them. If you compete in the other seasons, like the USFL has tried, and I want to say they're back, and it's another league that's tried XFL and different leagues. It's just in the the Alliance of Football. It's so tough to compete. The only way to really do it is to have one and make it to be a feeder system because everybody in your league's goal is to get back to the NFL because the bag is bigger.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The reason why they don't work is because the supreme talent will and always go to the NFL. So they basically got a monopoly on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks like we hitting word from the producer. Let's try to get in this free agency. I know we done skimmed basically a little bit of it. You got Washington not really free agency, but with Randy Gregory and Von Miller's who just signed.
My Raiders just snatched up Chandler Jones. You feel me?
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying with the Cowboys not willing to pay the big name free agents, especially when they lost Gregory.
Yeah.
Because they with Jones and Miller out there, I'm like, you might as well just let them go to wherever team they end up going.
Still ain't gonna go, Emmanuel. They always gonna go to the NFL. This is the Premier League. It ain't gonna happen, bro.
He's still trying to get into that Dame Dash league.
Yeah. I could give y'all some background on the Raiders situation. As far as with the owner.
Yeah, what you got?
So, like, we've known a couple of players that play for the Raiders that actually, like, their checks bounced. What's his name? Byron Jones. I was in the military with his younger brother. Hold on, chill out, black man. Gotta relax. Gotta relax. So I was in the military with his younger brother. His younger brother told me pretty much the deal was signed, sealed, and delivered for him to come to the Raiders. The reason why he didn't end up coming is because when they with your salary cap, it has to be in escrow when you sign. They ain't had the money for
Yeah.
the down for the I said down payment, the signing bonus to put in escrow. That's why we didn't get Byron Jones. You're right. We're essentially the only owned team that the NFL is their business. Every other owner owns businesses and bought an
Yeah.
NFL team. So they're better financially now because of the stadium situation in Vegas. But
Definitely.
before that, and a big reason why they wanted that new stadium in Oakland is because we got the brokest owner in the NFL, just like the A's got the brokest owner in MLB. And don't get me started on that.
Man, that's yeah. Tough.
We're thinking of Moneyball every time I think of that team.
Fucking MLB farm system. But anyways,
So
yeah,
what
we
y'all?
just
So basically, we was talking about it a little bit before the show, and when he came in, I was surprised to see Von Miller go ahead and turn away from the Rams, and it just shows. Hey
I didn't know
man,
he turned away.
yeah, he went to the Bills.
Wait, he walked away again?
To the Bills? Oh,
I
Yeah,
forgot
he
I
to
went,
missed
the Bills
that
went
one.
for it.
They paid him
Wow.
though. They
They
paid
paid
him.
him.
I forgot the
They
Yeah,
paid
but
him.
that's like the same thing when he won the Super Bowl and with Peyton Manning, his contract went up, and then because that's going to happen to almost every player that's starting basically. When you win the Super Bowl, they're going to offer you the endorsement deals, sponsorships, money's going to go up. Like Tommy B was saying, like those opportunities will show up if the team is getting the clout and the team's getting the wins, the dubs, the championships. Like right now, the Vegas Raiders are flourishing right now because come on now.
Come on, man. We're not.
You had to
You're not gonna
throw
get
that first part in there.
no positive Cowboy talk from me right now.
You could have just said Raiders though. We don't need that first part.
The thing about the reason why they're flourishing is because we all know that Vegas is a flourishing touristic capital. So you got all the money coming through there. It's like the top gambling. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Vegas like the top capital for gambling? And not just in the U.S., right? In the world.
I don't know about the world.
I don't know about the world, but
Probably U.S.
I wanted to ask you as far as the Raiders go, and I saw articles about this before it happened. How does it go with home games? Because it's like Vegas is a town where people visit, and just like people come into AT&T and come into other stadiums, and they go out to L.A. too. Is the stadium like 50-50, or is it the majority of the Raider fans?
Nah, from what I heard, they showed out there. I ain't got the jab, so I ain't messing with it right now. And right now, you got to have it to get in. But from what I heard from people that went, it was cracking. Like with that was one of the things that we thought might get lost if with them moving to Vegas is the crowd. Well, one thing you got to understand. So L.A. is a 4-hour drive from Vegas.
Yeah.
So literally less than an hour plane ride. The Bay or Oakland is about an hour plane ride, or it's a 9-hour drive. So it's not so far out of the reach as if it's not like Cleveland going to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Like even like the Loonies, they had a song in 2000 or something, and they called the Raiders, and they said from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas, because we frequent that so much. Like if you go to Vegas, you're gonna be surrounded by LA and Bay cats. So it was almost perfectly placed because now you got the LA cats coming up that's willing to move, and then you got the Oakland cats that's ready to go out there on Sundays, and then to fill in that you'll have the tourists and stuff that, hey, we in Vegas, let's go catch a football game type deal. And then they got like packages with some of the hotel rooms now. If you get, from what I understand, I want to say they either under the Mandalay or MGM. I'm not sure, but the hotels are actually offering packages with the tickets and everything. So it looks like it's working out.
The NFC West is strong.
Yeah.
I mean the AFC West. So how you feel about Von Miller? I mean not Von Miller. How you feel about Russell Wilson and the Broncos? Man? You scared, or are you like, we ready?
It pissed me off, man. I was like, we already had Justin Herbert and Mahomes, and then here come. I'm like, oh man, man, it took me back though to the days of when it was Gannon and who was it? It was Gannon.
What's up, boy Hasselbeck for the Seahawks?
Not
for Seahawks.
I can't remember. But we had a whole nother like division like that. It's a headache, bro. But then the pass rushers in it now, man. Like we got
like Trent Green in the same. Yeah, it was a bunch.
With the Chiefs. Yeah, Priest Holmes and all.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like even the pass rushers though, you got who just went?
Oh,
Khalil Mack just went to
yeah,
the
Khalil
Chargers,
Mack
so
went
they
to the
got Khalil
Chargers.
Mack and Bosa.
Good
We
pick.
got Chandler Jones and
That's the other
Mad
quarterback.
yeah,
Max
and my boy Mad Max. Denver got who they just picked? They just picked up
picked up
somebody.
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, Randy Gray. You know what I'm saying? And then if you go to Kansas City, they got like so
Chris
it's
Jones.
crazy. The quarterbacks and the pass rushers is crazy in this division. It's gonna be nuts, bro. I man,
I think it's going to
Everybody
be
else
good
Wait,
played
this
their
year.
so quick
quarterbacks.
question. Y'all think the AFC division is the AFC West for the AFC?
the best division, absolutely.
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 Okay, I
Yeah,
agree with
Absolutely.
that.
easy.
I agree with
Easy.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though,
Easy. Yeah, easy.
AFC has obviously they stacked on the quarterback side.
Hey, because I was
Before,
gonna
yeah,
say, my favorite move right now is Trubisky to the Steelers right now.
Ah, mine too.
It's
Why
I
is
ain't
that?
even gonna
Why is
lie
that?
to you.
Explain.
Because that
That,
nigga boo boo.
no, man. Hey, look,
Yelling
I'm
from Chicago. Of course, that's his favorite.
right.
Well, I already know that. I already
Don't
know
get me
that.
wrong. No, hold on. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This is what
I
I'm saying.
seen that.
I seen enough of him play, right? I ain't
Come to
saying
the
he was
Raiders.
blowing the doors off the stadium, right?
Come to death row, Julio.
But Mitch quarterbacked them teams to a couple playoff appearances too, man.
Ah, don't be trying to pump that bum up.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Hey, he was there.
hey, a lot of
He
a
was
lot of
out. My thing
quarterbacks.
is this.
Hey,
The
yelling.
same thing was
No,
about
hold on.
Tannehill.
The thing that's been hurting Chicago quarterbacks for years is the line. We ain't never had no line, so you can't put nobody behind that line. That's
The
what I was
thing
talking
that's
about
been
with
the
Justin
Chicago
Fields last
quarterbacks
year.
is the opposite team's defensive line.
That too, or they DB, or they
Team
DB. You know what
Chicago
I'm
is.
saying? But
But
no,
what,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead, y'all. Go ahead. Finish up. Finish up.
No, I was just saying if he can't be no better than Roethlisberger was the last couple of years over there. You know what I'm saying? Because
No, yes, he can. Because see, you got to remember, Roethlisberger was a bum compared to his prime. He wasn't a bum compared to like the weakest quarterbacks in the NFL. Trubisky,
Well, wasn't
Trubisky was.
Trubisky in Chicago? His coach was Gase, right?
Right. Yeah, I
Same
believe
thing.
so.
Same thing. What happened with the Rams with Goff and Fisher? I think.
Oh yeah.
I really don't think we have seen the true Trubisky yet. Because obviously Adam Gase,
Well, I don't know because Goff's still a bum.
He had a bunch of different coaches.
Goff's
I
just
think
a
he had
bum.
like 3.
How many games did Goff win with the Lions this year? Like 2? 3?
He might have got like 3.
I don't know. I know they celebrated the hell out of one of them wins.
The first one,
else.
boys was not trying to go winless again.
So
Man,
Stain.
What about Kirk Cousins though?
he just went to he got extended.
Yeah,
Kirk,
yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're not doing nothing though. The Vikings.
Kirk, I don't know. I forgot his agent name, but that dude just getting money. It don't even matter what he produce on the field. That boy just get big contract or just get it. He just signed.
Just for 2 good years at Washington, then he gets signed somewhere else. That was why.
He the one. He been the one who made that. He wasn't scared of that franchise tag neither when he was in
That's
Washington.
what it was.
I mean, that's what it is. He bet on himself, and then as a quarterback, you can do that. In other positions, it's a little tougher to do that. You got a shorter time span, but
Joe Flacco.
Josh Allen, man. I don't know about you, but Josh Allen gives me Dan Marino / Andrew Luck vibes, like a hybrid of Andrew Luck and Dan Marino. When I look at him,
Like I was telling you, Marcus, in the chat, the Bills picked up Miller probably because of that 13 seconds from last year. They said they don't
This AFC is gonna be a gauntlet, bro. Like this is ridiculous, dog. Like
facts.
oh, this shit is so good.
And speaking about the conference, with the AFC so stacked with the quarterback they have, before Brady came back, it was Dak was arguably in the whole NFC, probably arguably the 3rd or 4th best QB in that conference. But you had Rodgers, you have who else would I think it was just Rodgers, and then you got a debate between Stafford, Murray, and Dak. But now Brady came back. Of course, now it's just Rodgers, Brady.
I'll take Murray over Dak.
You'll take.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Murray
Yeah.
is a bunker, but that dude, his body cannot stand up.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's
It's a
small.
give and take with Murray because if you want somebody who can just throw the ball around the field,
Yeah,
he's more accurate than that.
yeah,
But right now, it's like a give and take because you get a quarterback that's more accurate, but his leadership is not with Dak. And what I'm hearing now from
yeah. I
Murray,
agree with that.
the way he goes about, it's just the way he's going about things.
Mhm.
He's standoffish in the team. Like that will,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
that kind of showed me, I guess, because if you notice with the
Well, hold on though, because you know what happened there though. When he got the wiping off his IG and stuff, they start leaking the foot. Like it's so funny how this shit it happens like clockwork, and like it's like we act like we don't even see it. Like, dog, he wiped his whole IG, started looking like he was gonna start making some noise, and next you know, oh man, he's a terrible teammate. Oh, we hate him. It's like, wait, 2 weeks ago y'all ain't had nothing but good shit to say about him. So,
That's that's the
I
game.
hear you,
Players can
but I
never
don't know
win.
if I'm gonna go with that
Shout out
because
Terrell.
it'd be the same thing like if I was talking to the Texans owner about Deshaun Watson. He gonna be the worst motherfucker he
Right.
ever met. You know what I'm
That guy
saying?
is a
So
baller, though. Deshaun Watson is a baller.
hey,
And
once
some
Kyler
of
Murray
these
has
cats
got
is
in
feeling-
line, we no
some
more
of
of
these
that
cats
shit.
is filling out their new application. Like, can I contact your last employer? Hell no. Hell no.
Nah, that
Man, Chris Hansen's gonna be an HRA. I'll take a seat right there, Deshaun, real quick.
man.
Come on, man.
But my thing with free agency though is when you go back and you look at it, sometimes I just gotta like the Chargers. I think they improved a lot, and I think they got a chance if they get that Jordan Davis kid from Georgia to help their run defense.
Mhm.
They're gonna be be that team where on paper it looks all good. Quarterback, weapons, everything. Offensive line is better, and then when you get to the season, that's the one team you can be like, hey, bro, they're not gonna finish. And that but it's one of them things. That's the same thing they would say about the Cowboys. So you gotta take it until they do it. So, but I like Herbert. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't look good, but I still like her. I think he could be as good as Burrow. I think he'd be as good as any other quarterback, the top quarterbacks. But only time
You
will
think he
tell.
could be as good?
I think so. My thing is, and I stand by this. I stand by this with Burrow. When he
Tommy, you think he's better than Burrow?
I didn't say I don't think he's better. I said he could stand toe to
No,
toe with him.
I said I think he's up there.
Yeah,
He's up there. He's up there,
Yeah.
Burrow. I think.
Yeah.
he
No, that's what I
already-
said. Yeah.
Oh, but it's what he did this year. That's the standard now. Can you get a team to the Super Bowl? And that's hard when you got Mahomes in your division.
So because Julio Jones is a free agent, right?
I think if he make a decent playoff run, because you got to realize he's young as fuck. Like he's still super young. It ain't like he on like his sixes. It ain't like Carr. You know,
Right.
He's more than that because he's toward more close to the end of his career.
Yeah.
But man, I'm getting a headache just thinking about the quarterbacks in this fucking division, bro.
But y'all think Julio Jones is gonna sign with Tampa or no?
I mean, I don't know where he's gonna
Julio
go.
Jones.
He needs Tampa would be perfect so he can play about
Come on to Chicago.
10 to 12 games.
No,
miss his normal
no.
amount of games and be ready for the playoffs.
I think he'll sign with Tampa. I think no.
He might. I mean, they got Godwin coming out.
Brown's not there. Brown is gone.
I don't know if he trying to take a pay cut though, because he ain't going to Tampa for no money.
Brady's taking a pay cut, so I'm sure they'll have money for Julio.
No, Julio got his bag, bro. It's time for him to get a ring, bro.
Spent though. A lot of the big money has been spent, so Julio might have to take.
Julio got to get a ring. Julio got to get a ring.
His bag anyway. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess Julio he can provide some, but he's not the same Julio.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's just
if he was the same Julio, he'd be on the team.
Yeah, I'm just like,
well, nobody dropping that one.
He can go to somebody.
But to Julio's defense,
what did they give up for Julio?
Quarterback.
That's the first thing I was thinking. What did they give up for Julio?
I think they might have gave up as high as a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that still hurt though. Fuck, for 1 year? Sheesh.
Yeah, but you gotta think about it. Like you gotta think of it from Julio's standpoint. You got a quarterback. Matt Ryan has been that quarterback for the Falcons for how long? 13, 14 years. And now you got that pattern, that timeline with the Falcons where they weren't always successful. So you got to deal with the line. You got to deal with the defense. That Super Bowl 51 debacle,
Oh man.
giving up 25 points
Oh
in the
man.
fourth quarter, bruh.
Atrocious.
I don't know, man. With Brady coming back, I'm wondering if it's gonna be one of them. I know it was like I felt like he retired at the top of his game, but I feel like he's gonna still bring in some free agents. But if you're thinking about retirement and you went ahead and retired, is your body gonna come back the same? Are you gonna come back? Because the first half of that game, he looked terrible, and it was just like I was looking at it like, hey, bro, go on, shut it down. We don't. The last thing we need to see is another great player. Just
Man,
we don't need to see another
his
Peyton.
body can
I
handle
hated
it,
to
bro.
120 mil.
That man is fucking battle tested. The thing was, he lost that game. He was at home salty and shit. And you like, you know what? I ain't got time for this shit. You know how you argue with your girl and be like, I'm done with your ass. You go in the other room and be like, let me go ahead and say I'm sorry.
How the fuck old is Von Miller?
Let me go ahead and say I'm sorry.
Well, Von Miller came in the league, what, 2012,
He
2013?
walked back in the Bruce
2011.
Arians' office and was like,
Okay.
man, I'm sorry, coach. I ain't mean to act like
Wow. That man, 32. They gave him a 6-year.
That's what I'm saying. He
This is
got a nice
4 years
penny
on
in
the end of
Buffalo.
that deal. He
Huh?
ain't making it to that.
So the
Who
Cowboys
got the
was
deal?
gonna pay
Yeah,
that.
that's Julio deal. He got a 6-year deal.
Nah, that's
Von
Von Miller.
And they signed in Howard, but it don't really matter because the
He be
Bucks got
gone in 2 years.
Gronk anyway. See, they put some.
Wait, who got a 7-year deal for 182 mil? Oh, Chris Bryant.
I know
Yeah,
this.
you got through some baseball news on that.
Hey, baseball always giving fat contracts though. They're always giving out fat contracts.
And they
He
get them
earned
long
it though.
deals.
He earned it though, because I'll say this.
Yeah, Chris Bryant was balling.
Hey, but who's that guy from the Angels? He got like a $500 million contract deal.
Oh, what's his name?
To my Trout.
for the Blue Jays.
No,
For
the
the
Angels.
Not for the Angels.
Dude, he came from the Blue Jays. I mean, I can't remember his name.
Was it Trout?
Trout.
Yeah.
Trout signed a
There you
$500
go.
million deal.
Yeah.
Oh, you late?
A few years ago.
No, but I'm saying no, because the dude from Toronto just signed that type of deal too.
I gotta look via baseball. They get
his name, man. Yeah, bro.
Ain't no cap.
If you want to push your kids to a sport, y'all,
soccer and baseball.
put a baseball.
Well, I was going to say soccer, baseball, or golf.
Yeah, golf too.
If you pushing it to it, it's gonna be like basketball gets expensive with the training. Football, it can. Baseball is probably, and soccer is more expensive to make it before. Like if you never heard this, there was a dude that was drafted in the first round in MLB, and he basically used his bonus to pay his parents back from all that specialized pitch training, hit training. Like they've made it to where if you make it, you gotta somebody either backed you or your parents got bread. So it's not as easy. So when we say that, especially when you tell black children like, hey, you can get into it, but that's why they got so many RBI leagues and stuff. And then when them kids show up, they way behind the other kids.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot more. I don't know when I and we kind of had this discussion up here before. Like when I say that, like I push them into like something that you can fail upwards, right? So say you don't make it to the MLB, you got AAA ball, you got AA ball. You know what I'm saying? You do got a bunch of leagues where you can go play, and
that shit terrible though.
I'm not saying you can work your way up to that though. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about baseball is baseball players actually improve over their career. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't just come in, they hit their peak or whatever, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't have to be in good shape either.
But the only thing I counter with that though is a lot of times we see sports as this, because I know the NCAA tournament is going on right now. Football and basketball are the only revenue sports. So when those guys think, oh, I'm really cold in baseball, I'm about to get a scholarship, you might get a partial, and then you go and you be like, I get a partial. Only thing that really makes money in college baseball is the College World Series. They're a revenue losing sport. So if you have the kids there, especially for the kids that come from lower incomes, if I'm making in this, it's like, oh, I'm cold as hell. I'm all state. Let me at least go get a scholarship. Well, you going to, this, even if you go to HBCU, hey, bro, you might not be able to get this full scholarship. Whereas the basketball and the football is where at least I can go to a D3 school, D2, and I can get a scholarship, I can get an education for my skills. So they basically put black athletes in that tough spot. If you wonder why they funnel them through these two leagues, that's why. And it's tough. And like every now and again, you'll see, some guys, some black brothers like, Marcus Simeon, guy that just signed with my Rangers. You get them guys, and it's like, hey, I'm proud of them, and you go see them, but it's just so tough for them. Like I knew it was over when Ken Griffey's son didn't play baseball, and I was like, come on, dog, that hurt my heart.
Yeah,
Hurt my effing heart. I saw him at the All-American game. I was like, bro, I was waiting for him to say 2 sports, and I was like, just one. I was like, all right, that's rough, bro.
Yeah. He'd have been third generation.
That hurt. Like just
tough.
amazing family genes. Like,
yeah, well, that's why baseball, you always hear them. They always trying to find ways to be more involvement with the inner cities. I'm just like, I think it's just the nature of the beast with your sport. I mean, if you're trying to go to the inner cities, because baseball, it's pathway, kind of like what you were saying, Dante. Its pathway is you have to get used to failure in baseball.
Yeah.
And then this pathway is longer. So it's not like, go to college, play for a couple of years, immediately go to the pros, get your, play pros, get your money. You got to go to that minor league system. It's just the nature of the beast with that sport. So you got to have patience, like you were saying, like I brought up before, the back end of it, like with how you train and all that. It's just not as easy as finding a local court with a basketball or working out, lifting weights or whatnot for football. It's just the nature of the beast of the sport. Now, yeah, if you can make it to the end, you definitely get granted with the money.
Yeah.
But it's just, can you sustain your work to make it up there, man? And then a lot of dudes, they get stuck in the minors.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to get. It's hard as hell to get to AAA.
Yeah.
The major is AAA. So it's just, the nature of the beast of your sport, dog. That's why the dudes, everybody in the majors, them brothers are talented.
They talented.
They are super talented because they go through. It's not just straight from college to the pros. That minor league system, and they get filtered out in there.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Y'all want to know something though? Y'all want to know something? Because I watch that YouTube channel, Anatomy of a Fighter, and it talks about people that grow up in rough environments, right? So tough places raise tough people, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes if you put them in the path of something good like sports, it breeds the best like individuals. It breeds the best people of success when it comes to athletes, especially and specifically. So like you'll see people like what's his name, Shannon Sharp, coming from his backstory. You got fighters like Khabib. You got fighters, like Mike Tyson. You got who's that other dude from basketball? A lot of people, just a lot of people in general. Yeah, like all these people that grow up in rough places that breed the toughest people, and then they end up being like Hall of Famers. Not just a general guy who just started on the lineup or was swapped in and out. There's one thing to be good, but to be amongst the greats once you're good, I want to be one of the GOATs. That mentality, that hungry mentality, the one that, hey, I got to worry about the lights going to be on, food is going to be on the table. It breeds that kind of environment. Yeah, so it's like, I'm going to succeed. I'm going to make sure the guy across from me is going to know who I am. And I'm going to trample over him. I'm going to score over him. I'm going to suplex him, wrestling, knockout, whatever. They're going to want to breathe for that dub in that way.
Yeah, it's like two different worlds. You got that. You have that world who they basically, it's their way out. Whatever sport they're trying to play, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, it's their way out because they just want to make.
And then you got the rich families who can pay for everything.
Yeah, the families, because I don't really knock the families with money, because if I was in a situation, I would love to have that type of money and bring my kids up to that. But they have the money to afford the utmost training and whatnot, and you just hopefully they gotta instill that work ethic with them. But yeah, a lot of times the ones who's just coming from basically nothing, that work ethic in them it's already naturally built in them because they got They trying to get out.
Well, it's passion though. It's just certain. Like
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like a lot of people don't understand what goes into making these leagues. Like, people just think you hoop good. And I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
obsessive. And when
yeah,
I say that, like Damian Lillard, he from my hood. He younger than me, so I ain't up here trying to be like I know the nigga. I know his older brother, but when I talk to the young cats about him, you never saw him without a basketball. Like ever.
Mhm.
Everywhere he went, he had it. Everywhere he went, he was dribbling.
that was
And
a point guard clinic out there for a long time though.
still is. What you mean for a long time? Dame just came out.
I
Don't
mean,
get it twisted.
I'm just saying.
Hey, we got four of them things on that top 75, maintain business. But anyways, like I was saying,
Yeah, about 30
I
years
was
ago.
waiting. I was waiting to
um,
hear it. I was
On
waiting
that
to hear
one.
that. Y'all
but
boys went hard.
nah, even like I dated this chick and she after we broke up, we were still cool, but she like was dating like some dudes in the league, and she would tell me like it's an obsession, and so many people think, and I'm talking about even down to just like the G League, where you ain't even made it. It's an
Mhm.
obsession, like, and that's why you should read this book, Outliers, Marcus. That tells you about people that's wired like that.
Yeah,
Like
what's
it's
that? Who's the author?
what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Outliers, though.
Yeah, it's called
Outliers.
Outliers.
How's it spelled? The last part.
Liers, I think.
Okay. All
I
right, I'll
gotta
check
look
it
it up.
out.
It's on my phone. But
I'll check that out.
they talk about that, how like just certain people they just come out wired different, and
Mhm.
they a lot of them find a passion early. Like that was one of my things in life. I just was passionate about shit,
Hey,
not
that's
on
remind
some
me.
like I didn't want to be like. I just It wasn't nothing that just stuck out to, like I
Yeah,
wasn't no
that
artist.
passion.
Hey,
That's a
tell me
gift.
though, is it partially also because when you get that hand raised when you win, and then you might think you're proud of yourself, or your parents are proud of you? Is that part of the reason why they pursue it to succeed in that?
No, I'm just saying, bro. They're wired different. Like it's just like most people don't do what they do. They think they do, but they don't do. Perfect example. Floyd Mayweather was in the club one day. I heard this story.
Hmm.
And he said he in this section, his bottles all over the place. The dude got headphones in and he's literally doing punch patterns. He got the patterns going off in his head.
Hmm.
That's wired different, bro. Like,
Yeah.
fuck becoming a professional boxer. 99.9% of professional boxers ain't doing that type of shit. Where
It's
you're in
true.
a club in a quote unquote fun atmosphere and you still working on it's different. It's levels. And so that's why like I I tell people when they talk about the league and stuff, I think we get spoiled because um, you don't appreciate how good these cats actually are, and that's
Mhm.
from the starters, the superstar, all the way to the bottom of the bench. Like them
Mhm.
cats ain't regular. The dude at the bottom of the bench is going to
Nah, but
anybody
They
YMCA
constantly,
and
they
putting 50
persistent.
on them.
Yeah,
24-hour
I know.
fitness and
hey,
ball them up.
Did
But
y'all
like,
see the video of Scalabrini? So the dudes
yeah,
online, it was like, man, I'll ball Scalabrini up. He ain't nothing. He only averaged like 2 points out of
And he
that. So
pulled
like
up.
Scal
yeah,
pulled up on him. He pulled up on him at the gym. He like, what's good? We can play right now. Man, he torched them fools,
Yeah,
both of them. Like kill he I'm talking about all this, and I mean, I seen Scalabrini go. So like when he
yeah,
touched the court, he was on. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We ain't finna act like he wasn't. But dude, he out there turnaround fadeaways. He taking them off the dribble,
Hmm.
step back, pull up jumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, dude looking like, what is this? He like, man, dude, I play in the NBA, dog.
dang,
Not even
that's
that.
disrespectful.
You only see what the coaches allow them to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Yeah,
that's why I tell people with Golden State, what a lot of people don't understand is somebody had to let that man pull that trigger to become what he became. Because remember, people tend to forget you wasn't allowed to shoot like that before, Steph.
you weren't shooting threes like that. Nope.
Not that many. You wasn't shooting 11. One person 11 or 12. You out
Yeah,
your mind.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody had to give him that green light, and that's what created that. But a lot of the players like that, like your Scalabrinis, the reason why they look like that to us is because what people don't understand with these leagues is you're doing what your coach is telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't doing what you want to do or what you can do. And even if you go back to like the Kwame thing, that was a lot of his, his gripe was it's not the fact that I was bad, it's the fact that I was put in these positions. And we can argue whether he was bad or not, because of course the end product is what it is. But when you hear what he's talking about, when they making him, lift weights 2 hours before a game, and then come in garbage time or whatever, you as the average friend, you as the average fan, you only see him go out there and stink it up. You don't see the fact that he just lifted weights for 2 hours for whatever reason, and then came to
They
play
didn't,
and stuff
they didn't
like
see
that.
they
It
didn't see
throws
him.
off your shot when you lift 2 hours before.
Yeah, and they didn't show him when what was it? I want to say different people have talked about it. And that pre-draft camp in '01,
Mm.
when he was going, he gave all them guys work. Tyson
Yeah,
Chandler, everybody.
yeah,
He gave everybody the business.
yeah,
So if you see that, you're gonna think, hey, this dude is ready. Not to compare, but Kobe gave what's the name in that private workout. He gave Michael Cooper the business.
yeah.
And they was just like, he shut it. What's the name? Jerry West shut it down. I was like, man, shut it
Mm.
down. And they knew they was gonna take him. So it's like when you get that, sometimes it's about your opportunity, who you play with. And when he played with Jordan, that was a tough deal to be 18 and go in there with a locker room full of grown men.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing why they say that's why they turned it off from the NBA. But I just don't agree with that. If you can hoop, you can hoop. If you put a LeBron in there, you just got to get somebody in there. Like for Kobe, they had Byron Scott to kind of be his mentor to lean on.
Yeah.
But I know we're running out of time here, and I just want to speak on something real quick. So I've been seeing this like on the Facebook and things. People have been getting mad about the players dropping these high points. Like, you had KD drop 50 the other day, Kyrie dropped 60 last night. And it's just like, and my only thing with it is, hey, bro, you see who's doing it. It's not like back in the day, Tony Delk dropped that mystery 50. It's like, bro, where you find 50 at? And it's just like, bro, these are the best of the best doing it. Like, yes, the rules have changed, but also the rules changing. People don't look at pace. They look at, oh, man, they scored this. Hey, bro, if I'm scoring at the Warriors' pace, and they would always say, oh, the Warriors can't play D. It's like, nah, bro, they can play D. They're playing D per the amount of possessions they're getting. So if you holding somebody under 100, that's just a bad offensive team and mixed in with good defense. Hey, bro, you should be scoring around 105 points, minimum. And it's just like, I don't think guys are understanding how good they are. And it's like, yeah, Kyrie dropped to 60 and we know the vaccine stuff, but appreciate what they can do and how special they are. And sometimes you just own. Like sometimes a guy's like we just talking about being this good. It's about being on in the zone, getting the looks you want, and it gets a point to where it's like, if you just own, or maybe somebody, baby mama or wife pissed you off, or somebody said something, then it's like, oh, it's really on. Like when LeBron did that to Bosh and them, and it was just like that happens. Like you don't understand, these dudes are wired different. They low key in their possession, they're a little psycho, and so they could go. I could just go off on you, and I don't think that was getting enough. I don't think it was getting enough respect. People are kind of like downing it.
No, that's I always felt like that. They're professionals. If you think a professional in any work field, a professional is the highest of the high. So you get a professional basketball player with their skill set, and then that's why in basketball, pretty much you can run plays, but as soon as they see one of them get hot, down the plays, get on the ball. They know it's pretty much once they get hot, there's no stopping them. That's why players like Kobe and them are so celebrated, because Kobe went through that more frequent, and it's like no matter what he threw up there, they were going in. You couldn't stop them. So them dudes are professionals for a reason, and once they are, and a lot of time, it's the backcourt, it's the the backcourt players, because they're the ones with the ball in their hands now more of the time. They can do the shooting, like Steph. It's like a thing of beauty to see Steph, because he shoots so much threes. And once that dude is going, I mean, this dude, because it's bad enough to shoot threes off the pass, but you add the fact that he can create his own shot with the tiniest amount of space. He just needs you to just get out the angle out the way, so he can change his shooting form. And once that ball start going in, I enjoy. That's why I enjoy greatness. I like seeing professional players operating at their highest ability, and then all of a sudden they get this super ability this one game. That's why I never understand people like, oh, I didn't like Kobe, basically because he was just too good. I never, same thing about Brady, Rodgers. If I get to see a player and I think I see that with LeBron, but I think with LeBron, so much people are going between the
No,
whole
bro, they're
MJ.
not going.
Yeah, they so focus on the MJ LeBron debate that to the point it's almost like Skip Bayless. That's why a lot of people get on Skip Bayless so much. And he always say, "I'm not hating on LeBron, but you want to put up MJ so high, they ultimately talk down on LeBron." And I don't think when LeBron retires, as an iconic player that he is, I don't think in today's sports society, I guess, he will not be as appreciated as some of the legends before him, just because the whole LeBron MJ
Yeah,
thing.
he 37 and
Yeah,
averaging 29 a night, and it's like,
Well,
come on, bro. It's like I think we got too much into this era. We got too much into the
comparison.
sports
yeah,
debate and the
yeah.
comparison
They will
because
bring down the other team.
nothing else will you just continuously compare something from when George stopped playing in what, 01, 02,
Yeah,
2002,
something like
something from
that.
that
Yeah.
long ago. Would you continue to compare it? It's just like, man, like you got to let that go. But hey, man, producer let me know he wanted me to speak on this. So what y'all think about? Why is Jake Paul offering Kanye and Pete Davidson $30 million for a boxing match?
Because of the drama. It's
Would
the
you
For the
watch it
clickbait.
though?
business.
Would you watch it though?
I
No.
don't know, man. That's,
I
now,
probably watch like a clip on YouTube, but nah.
I'll
'Cause
stream.
and,
yeah,
and to
I'll
be
stream
honest with
third
you,
party. I'll stream third
only
party.
because it don't even look like it'll be a good fade. If it looked like it'd have been a good fade, I'd have watched. But neither one of them niggas know how to fight.
I ain't
I
gonna
think
lie, I couldn't do it.
because
I've
I
been
think
sworn to not
I'm
watch
watching
those
the
Jake
whole
things.
good for
thing,
the
bell to
sport.
bell.
I've
You
been
gonna
trying
watch
to
it
not
the
watch them.
bed?
I've been trying my best
I'm
to
watching
not
the
watch
whole
them,
thing,
bro.
bell to
You
bell.
Yellow's
gonna
like,
I'm
watch
gonna
it?
Nah,
show
but
me a
like,
Kanye shirt.
but see,
Yellow's like Chicago versus Saturday Night Live.
I like I said,
Black
like
man get
I
him right. He
watch.
gonna come down. He gonna, man, look, dog.
He said,
Can
"Kim,
you
who?"
imagine the Kanye? Black man, I feel to hit around. Can you imagine the Kanye
Bruh.
West intro for a boxing match, dog?
Bro,
And then, but
Come
okay,
on,
the intro,
man.
yeah, and then when he get in the ring and the bell ring, like, come on, dog, I ain't watching that shit.
He said,
Look like
"Ba da
Come
da
on with
da,"
it.
because
And I ain't necessarily even against watching the Jake Paul shit because I think he kind of got like a Floyd Mayweather thing going. You got the people that hate him watching, and then you got the people that love him watching. It's perfect combination.
Yeah.
So I'm not even mad at him like that. I'm just that shit just neither one of them look like they could fight.
I think it's bad for boxing.
Bruh.
It's tough on boxing, but
Bruh.
boxing they gotta figure some stuff
I'm
out.
gonna throw in a banana peel.
I
See
don't
if
think it's
anybody
tough on
falls in
boxing.
that
I
ring.
think boxing was already tough. Shit,
Yeah,
like
it
you know,
was.
It's
so
one thing
it
about
actually I think it's improving it because it's putting
yeah.
eyes on boxing.
I forgot who was that who was up with us last week talking about boxing. You know, he's passionate about boxing. And the
Good,
thing
Mr.
that
Bennett, Paul Bennett, was that him? I know he said he
I
into
think it
boxing.
was
Mandrill.
his name Mandrill.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Mandrill.
Yeah, so the thing about boxing, the funny thing about it is, like we were just talking about professionals and how they operate, and boxing, for the most part, to me, it looks like boxing is more like you got to be a boxing enthusiast to really enjoy and follow the sport.
Yeah,
So they are passionate about their boxing,
yeah.
but all of a sudden you get these people who are not pros, but they get more mainstream shine
Yeah.
than the professionals. I'm like, okay, that's
You know what it's like? It's like the steroid era in baseball. Ratings was never higher.
Nah.
The purists hated it. We loved it. Like I remember being glued to the TV with Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa every
I
night.
remember that some
And then I remember and of course I'm in the base, so we've seen it every night. But I remember Barry Bonds on his chase like every day. It was like, damn, another one? Damn, two? Like
the thing about that though, MLB cashed that in. And then all of a sudden now when they're done, they want to get on their soapbox and you know.
Oh no. But what I'm saying is the baseball peers hated it.
Yeah.
The baseball peers would take a 0-1 game over a 10-12 game. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Like the peers always want the peer, and then the public just want the entertainment.
Would y'all watch Jake Paul versus Canelo?
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, because I think Canelo knock his mother man.
That's what I'm waiting for somebody that's gonna just knock him out. And like the old boy,
hold on.
That boy.
Wait a minute. Forget Canelo and Jake Paul. I want to see Canelo versus Kamaru Usman.
I want to see that guy box.
Mandrell, what up, Mandrell?
I want to see that guy box. But yeah, I think what hurt boxing was UFC. When UFC cracked, because a lot of people don't know UFC been cracking since early '90s.
Yeah,
E40 used to talk about it in the raps. Talk about going to the UFC fights.
They run it better than boxing, but I know we got to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through and checking it out with us, man. Yeah, man, Jay, they did you wrong.
Appreciate y'all for joining in, man.
For sure, dog. For sure.
I
missed y'all last week, but I got you.
Appreciate that, bro.
Peace, guys. I appreciate it, bro.